Hello everyone, I'm Don Pratt, host of a show here on Rogers TV that gives you a perspective of police in your community. Welcome to Policing York Region. We've got a great show coming up today. We've got Inspector Gary Miner and Captain Richard Ferris, and they're going to talk to us about the 32 Military Police Cadets. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. And we got a whole lot of learning to do as far as what is 32 Military Police Cadets.
So 32 Military Police Cadets is a Royal Canadian Army Cadet Corps set up here in York Region.
Yes.
We have partnered with York Regional Police to bring a youth service, a youth community group service throughout York Region. Currently we have two companies set up, one in Stouffville and one in East Gwillimbury.
Okay.
And we're looking to expand to more.
Wow. Okay, so let's back up a little bit. How long has this relationship been going on with York Regional Police, and where does it come from? Gary?
So one of our officers who is in the cadet program made the introductions and the suggestion that the community services, or certainly York Regional Police, partner with the Royal Canadian Army Cadet Corps and bring a youth program into. So community services is about youth programs.
Yeah, of course.
And so that's where the introductions was made back in 2015. The seed was planted. Okay. And then an ad hoc arrangement was started with a company out of our community safety village in Witchard, Stouffville.
Right.
And then in about 2016, our friend here, Captain Richard Ferris, the commanding officer, he made a presentation to our executive command at York Regional Police and laid out exactly what the vision was for developing a youth program within York Region that would target and build up to, the goal is 700 youth engaged in
700.
That's the goal. That's the goal. So where we're at right now is, as the captain said, we have our 96 company is working, is stationed out of our community safety village, which is pretty much Bruce's Mill for those of York Region that know the area. And our second company started last year started in Keswick actually, Georgina, 1405 company. And it's been moved to our newly opened training and education facility in East Gwillimbury.
Down on Bales,
Right. So you might ask, why are we calling it 96 and 1405 and all those different numbers? And so near and dear to anybody that knows anything about York Regional Police, and certainly myself, I've worked with all of these officers that are our fallen officers. So the number 96 comes from Doug Tribling's badge number, 1405 comes from Garrett Stiles' badge number, and then the two companies that will be developed are 206 company, which is William Grant, and 446 company, which was Detective Constable Robert Plunkett. And these are companies that are formed to honor our fallen. So you'll see some of the pictures here in the slideshow where we talk about the annual review, and we've had the families of the fallen come.
We had the annual, this is at the headquarters.
So you're looking at the Armand P. Labarge atrium at 47 Don Hillock, which is York Regional Police Headquarters, and there's an atrium there which is used for a number of community events, and it's a very large atrium. And last year we had the first annual review of this partnership, and June the 2nd this year we'll have our second annual review.
So when we talk about annual review, I'm not familiar with the term.
So the annual cadet review is basically just a graduation parade. Cadets basically runs as a school. We have 5 levels, and so cadets will move up each level per year. So this is just the graduation parade, and then also ceremony. So they'll get some cadets will get awards for specialty functions and teams.
For something that they've been a part of within the team, right?
Yeah, and you'll see in the background that the parents are invited to this, and they get to witness the whole event. It's pretty prestigious little event.
And this here, the gentleman to my left is Peter Carmen, captain.
Yeah, you'll see him on the next episode here. So Peter Carmen's also a York Regional Police officer, and his father was on the right-hand side, and he's Sergeant Jim Carmen, and he's part of our support committee. Well, actually, he's an instructor himself, but you're looking at the support committee.
This is the support committee.
We're looking at the support committee.
Yeah, well, no, Jim's been instrumental in actually helping put this really show together, right? He's been our liaison for the last few weeks as we've been talking about it. So, okay, So how did this happen then, Captain? The inspector said that you proposed this idea.
So working with our detachment, we looked at areas that were underserviced by the Army Cadets.
Okay.
York Region only has 2 Army Cadet Corps within it. So there was a fantastic opportunity for growth and development.
Okay, so you were looking to enhance a program that's already existed.
Yes.
And this is the relationship with York Regional.
This is the relationship. So we looked at how we could mentor with one of the local sponsors in the area. We looked at York Regional Police because we were a military police corps. We saw a perfect partnership, and so we approached them, and it seemed to fit within their guidelines and.
Yeah, within their business plan. I mean, talking to people at York Regional Police, including the executive command team, obviously it was very well received.
It was. They bought on to the whole build the 4 Cadet Corps units, bringing up the 500 to 700 kids and doing the whole engagement part.
So it's leaps and bounds, right? Gary, I think you said this whole process only started in 2015?
Yeah, the seed was planted in 2015 with a bit of an ad hoc arrangement, and then formalized more so in 2016, and now it's expanded in 2017, and certainly we're into 2018 now, where I believe the total complement between the two companies is about 72 youth are
that's grown even since our last conversations about
Yes.
it. Yeah. That's fantastic. So
it grows weekly.
So coming from 2015, when, as you say, you planted that seed at York Regional Police, and moving into today's dates, you've already got 2. Now you refer to them as company.
Yes.
What does that entail? What the word company?
So basically, we're looking at individual units.
Okay.
A company is basically will set them up as individual cadet corps.
Okay.
That feed. So you'll see 96 company, 1405 company that feed into 32 military police, which is our headquarters unit.
Okay.
And that just allows us to build in individual neighborhoods and keep it a little bit more centric to that community.
So right now you have a center in Sharon. You have one in Stouffville.
Yes.
Where you've suggested there's going to be 2 others.
Well, ideally, there would be different parts of York Region, Vaughan, Richmond Hill.
Okay.
It would be where we can get certainly a facility. So currently, the way it works with facilities is York Regional Police are using 2 facilities.
Okay.
Now, so there's the Community Safety Village is set up for youth. The Training and Education Branch is set up for training. So it's a facility that is not, they're not an operational district, so you couldn't actually plug this into like a police district that's doing your frontline policing. There is community rooms there and so on, which we could have meetings at and so on, but we need a facility that would enable 30, 40, 50 cadets to meet twice a week.
Okay.
So if we got a businessman out there that's got a property in any of those areas, please come forward. We'd like to partner with you on that.
Then you're looking for those groups that
we're looking for that sort of facility where you
Right.
could then set it up so that the youth can meet there, ideally twice a week, between September and June. So the program only doesn't run through
So
the
that's
summer.
when it's operational, September to June?
Well, it is, but in the summers, and the captain he'll expand on this. I'm sure what happens with the cadets over the summer months, there's different programs that the cadets can do outside of the September to June. So it kind of runs during the school year.
Yeah.
So you'll see cadets coming to us from school. You'll see parents carpooling ideally to get the cadets to the.
Sure.
To the facility where the cadets are meeting.
Okay. So, Captain, is that a fair estimated number for each company? Is it around 40 youth?
We're hoping to grow the companies.
Okay.
So we're looking in Sharon to have 100 cadets. We're looking in Stouffville to have 100 cadets. We're looking Markham, Richmond Hill, Vaughan, those areas to parade up to 200 cadets at any particular point in time.
In one company?
In one company.
That's fantastic.
It is a huge opportunity, and so we're extremely excited about trying to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. So since our conversation with 32 military cadets, always highlighting that word cadets, who are they? What is the cadet program?
So the Royal Canadian Army Cadets Program is a youth program set up by the Department of National Defence.
Okay.
They are not members of the Canadian Forces. They are not obligated to be members of the Canadian Forces.
They're not members of the
members of the Canadian Forces. They're able to come and go as they please. We ask them to hold a 60% average so that they can pass their year. It is set up like a school. So we have what we call local headquarters training, and that local headquarters training is basically a curriculum program that we push the cadets through in between September and June.
Okay.
At the end of that June training, the cadets can apply for summer camps.
Right.
And the summer camps run anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 weeks,
Okay.
Depending on the course that's chosen and the year that they're in. And then cadets are paid to go to summer camp.
Wow. They actually get paid to go to summer camp.
They are. They're
That's
paid
amazing.
$10 a day every day.
And, we need to bring that back too, and maybe we'll talk about it a little later on in the show. No cost?
No cost at all to join the cadet system at all. Everything from uniforms to training to events, they are completely free.
That's amazing. What a great opportunity. And this is for youth between the ages of
12 and 18.
12 and 18. That's fantastic. Gentlemen, we're going to take off for a break. Folks, we'll be right back after these messages. Hello, everyone. Welcome back as we talk about the 32 Military Police Cadets. It's a program that's been offered through York Regional Police and a relationship thereof. And joining us now, we've got Captain Peter Carman.
Thank you.
Sitting in with Captain Ferris, who was on earlier. Thanks so much for being on the show.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we had some great conversations before about your experience with the cadet program, and it's pretty expansive.
It's a very expensive program, absolutely.
Right? So what are some of the things that we would see if I was a youth that joined?
So the program's designed to be essentially self-sufficient. So a cadet comes in, say they're 12 or 13 years old.
Right.
They come in, and for their first 2 years in the program, they kind of learn the ropes.
Okay.
So they're learning to be a follower in that case.
Okay.
Then we transition them into year 3 and year 4. Then they start to lead kind of small groups. So they might be a platoon commander or a section commander.
Platoon commander. Okay.
Correct. So they might, so they'll start to lead small groups and tasks. So they might lead 5 people in an exercise, make sure their uniforms are good, that kind of thing. When they start to get to their 4th and 5th year, that's when they start to take on real leadership taskings, becoming an instructor, starting to deliver the cadet program back to the youth, and holding different parade appointments.
Okay.
So
they're taking what they've learned,
and they're giving it right back.
Wow.
Absolutely. So as officers, we don't instruct a whole lot in the program. We're there for more of the back-end logistics.
Right.
We make sure the cadets are fed, they're safe, that kind of logistical support. But the cadets themselves, a lot of the times, are delivering, I'd say, 95% of the training back to the cadets.
Wow. Okay. So it brings in a fair question. When we're talking about instructions and that, you've got a room full of whether it's 40, 50, 100 cadets. Who are the instructors?
That'd be the cadets. So I myself started the program at 12 years old. I was a nervous, shy kid, had absolutely no idea what I was doing in a group of people.
You're honest?
By the time I was 18 years old, I actually commanded an air cadet squadron in Barrie of 120 plus cadets on parade, and I was the cadet
At
in
18,
charge.
you had 120 people.
Absolutely, and I reported directly to the commanding officer.
That's amazing.
I do instruction, I ran parades, ran events. So I have absolutely no doubt in my mind the cadet program is actually what helped me to be where I am today in my career, being captain in the Canadian Forces as well as police officer with York Regional Police.
You are a police officer with York.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's fantastic. So when you were talking about that whole training piece, what are some of the things that as cadets you get to be partake in?
So the cadet program has 3 main aims. So citizenship, fitness and to promote interest in the land, air, and sea elements of the Canadian Forces. So citizenship is anything from environmental stewardship, leadership, training, that kind of stuff. Physical fitness, we do fitness training with the cadets as well. So they're required to partake in 2 fitness assessments every year, and we're hoping to kind of take that bar up every time. And then stimulating an interest in the Canadian Forces. Obviously, we'll try and get them to be interested in a career down the road.
Some of the things that you were showing us a little while ago were the winter training.
Absolutely.
So walk us through some of that.
So that's...
oh, they have some of the shots up here now?
Yeah, so like I said, the Captain Paris touched on in the previous segment, it's kind of designed towards school. So one of the subjects will be field survival.
Okay.
So this shot is actually of our winter in-dock training
is that
this
down
year.
at the Canadian the Community Safety Village?
Yeah,
Down in
so we
Stouffville,
took the cadets down to the safety village for a weekend, and they actually winter camped
nice.
for an entire weekend. So they set up those big tents you saw in the previous shot there, and slept outside for the weekend. So they learned how to snowshoe. We did cross-country skiing with them. You see them with the big Arctic toboggans there, so they hiked them up a big hill. Then they got to have some fun and go down the hill there. There's a shot of the tents that they got to sleep in. They learned how to use stoves, lanterns. We do navigation exercises with them. Just really a whole lot of skills.
Wow. Wow, and so what is this here?
So this here is actually from our last winter training exercise. This is a simulated aircraft down at the Cadet Training Center in Blackdown. Base Borden.
Right,
So this is an area designed for the actual aircrew survival course that goes through the summer. We just had the cadets run through it and gave them an opportunity to kind of see what that was about.
Wow. So I'm just imagining some of the things that these youth are getting to see and partake in. I mean, that's amazing.
It really is. And the partnership with York Regional Police, so not only do we do our regular cadet training, but we also get opportunities to fall in with York Regional Police and to do some exploring of what they have and what they have to offer as well.
You were talking about, they did a tour of York Regional Police headquarters, right?
Absolutely. So last year, in addition to our LHQ training, we had an opportunity to have the cadets come down to our headquarters, so they had a tour of all our different units. So within York Regional Police, there are dozens of different disciplines, if you will. So we have the emergency response unit,
and that's
communications,
here, right?
K9. So the cadets got to come down and kind of get a sampling and see just what we're involved with. Now, not everyone gets to see this, and this is kind of something interesting for the cadets to see. You know, everyone knows what a probably uniform frontline police officer does because they see it every day. But they don't really get that opportunity to go behind the closed doors and see really what goes on.
And there's a tremendous amount to see down there, right?
There is.
I mean, York Regional Police, as you said, isn't strictly your frontline officer.
For sure.
There's the ERU, the K9, the air support, the many faces of YRP, right?
Absolutely.
But not only do we get to play with YRP, we have teams as well that go on. So they learn, there's a regular portion of cadets, and then we have extracurricular teams, such as biathlon, our marksmanship team, effective speaking team. We're hoping, we have a drill team, we have band, because we work with York Regional Police Pipe and Drum. We're also looking at expanding and having physical fitness teams, such as self-defense courses, and also...
and you were referring to the biathlon?
That's correct. Biathlon is a huge part of the program with skiing and shooting.
So yeah, walk us through this.
So not only do we have local competitions, we have regional competitions and national competitions. So cadets participate and challenge other cadet corps.
Oh, fantastic. Wow.
And this, of course, is skiing and shooting. So
yeah, and one that we were talking about just a few moments ago was the parachutes.
That's correct. So under the summer camp program, cadets can go anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 weeks away to summer camp, based on the summer camp that you choose. It can be anything from drill, band, leadership.
Yeah. Well, and here it is.
This is one of our top courses. This is the Canadian Forces Land Advanced Warfare Center doing the parachute training. So 36 cadets out of all of Canada get to jump, and this is their training that they do. And that's in Trenton, Ontario.
And what are some of the maneuvers that they're going through here?
So here they're doing aircraft drills. This is the mock tower. This is to see if there's a fear of heights from jumping out of an aircraft. Every time the aircraft is moving, it's moving at so many feet per second. So any hesitation at the door, we want to stop.
Right, yeah.
So you can see them with their full equipment, and then as they jump, any tangles or anything else within the parachute. And this is a parachute rigger just checking the chutes.
And so what are they doing at this stage here?
So this is chute maintenance, basically checking to make sure everything is working and what it looks like.
Right.
This is one of the jumps, one of the 5 jumps that they'll do. This is out of a CASA aircraft.
Okay.
And they're just doing a full equipment jump. So there's probably about 60 to 80 pounds of equipment that they'll jump with.
So they're fully geared
They're fully geared on this jump.
for their destination, right?
So they do 2 jumps with no equipment, 2 jumps with equipment, and then 1 nighttime jump, no lights.
Wow. And approximately how long is this training?
This is a 6-week training course.
It's a full
in the
6
summer.
weeks. Wow. And so who all gets to do this then?
So this is our top level.
Okay.
So cadets basically start off at 2-week courses, move into 3-week courses, and as they grow their resume within the cadet system, they have opportunity to bid on some of the better courses, and this is one of them.
Okay, so now as far as the people that actually attend this is for any of the cadets across Canada.
For any of the cadets across
can bid
Canada,
on this.
male or female, 12 to 18 years of age.
Right.
The cadets that you saw jumping out of the aircraft were 17, 18 at the time.
So
of the jump.
they've had some seasoning, right?
did.
You're not taking a brand new cadet and sticking them in an
Absolutely.
aircraft.
So
for,
as Captain Paris mentioned, so the programs start, so training for a 12 or 13-year-old will be our general training course that starts at 2 weeks. Then they move and kind of get into those advanced courses. So they'll, like we said, like the school subjects, there's different subjects for all the different camps. So we have our physical fitness camps, we have like instructional technique camps, drill and ceremonial camps, music camps.
Wow.
So they just they'll start at a 2-week camp, and that gives them just basically a sampling of every camp that they offer. Then from there, they kind of go into a stream. So they will do an introduction to range, for example.
Okay.
That would be a 3-week camp, and then they'll go on the marksmanship instructor course after that, which is a 6-week camp.
Oh,
So it kind of,
right.
they're building blocks, and they just
Okay.
build on it
Right.
from there.
So everything's a progression, right?
Absolutely.
Everything is a progression. And now you said at age 18, that's the end of the line.
So that's the last we can accept them into the program. 19, they age out.
Okay.
And then once they age out, they have the option to do whatever they want. Should they want to join the Canadian Forces? Should they want to leave altogether?
Yeah.
That's totally up to them.
So, and when we were talking earlier about the relationship with York Regional Police, I mean, you can certainly see where this would be of great benefit to a policing organization that's looking to hire good people.
It is. It's a fantastic opportunity for York Regional Police as well. They get to mentor youth within the area,
Yeah.
and of course, that youth get to see how policing works within their area, and whether that's a valuable career that they want to take.
Yeah, so looking at it from the outside, I mean, I've never actually been to a Military Police Cadets meeting, but when I think of it, you're creating super disciplined youth that may be looking for a role in future policing.
The nice thing about the cadet program is it opens them up to opportunities that you just wouldn't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
Whether it be through the military police, or York Regional Police. There's just no other opportunities out there that like us. Also, with our program, we also have an expedition-based program. So it's hiking, biking, canoeing as well.
Oh, okay.
So all the cadets are taught hiking, biking, canoeing. Again, there's local expeditions, regional expeditions, and national expeditions. We also have international expeditions. Myself, I took cadets to the Pyrenees Mountains.
Oh, wow.
And we took 36 cadets in between France and Spain and climbed the mountains and back over. We've had them to Mount Everest, up to the 2nd base camp. Every year there's a phenomenal trip. They just came back from Chile this year,
Wow.
climbing mountains as well.
And I'm going back to a couple of things, and just to highlight them. No cost to somebody's household for doing this.
Absolutely no cost.
My 13-year-old granddaughter wants to become a 32 military police cadet. I'm actually not
So
Obligated financially.
not obligated financially. So they come into the program, all the instruction is free, summer camps. Not only are they free, the cadets are paid to go.
Right, yes, you said.
Uniforms and everything else completely provided.
Yes.
There's some costs that cadets may have to take on, such as shoe polish for
Yeah,
the boots and
okay,
things
fair
like
enough.
that. But everything is provided for them at
You
no
said there's a
cost.
certain level of fundraising as well, like if there were...
Absolutely. So if we-
you alluded to some of these trips.
If we wanted to take a recreational
Sure.
trip, something outside of the general delivered cadet program, that's something we'd have to fundraise for, and that would be through our support committee as well. So for example, a couple of years ago, my unit in Barrow, we took our cadets over to the UK and France and did Vimy Ridge in London. We
Wow.
took the cadets over for 21 days, and the end cost we asked the cadets to pay was $950.
For all of that.
For all of that. That wouldn't have even covered the airfare.
No, absolutely not, absolutely not. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being on the show, and that was a great piece. Folks, that wraps up this episode of Policing York Region. For more information on the show, rogerstv.com. For more information on York Regional Police, yrp.ca. And the contact information is on the screen for the 32 military cadets. Been a great show. Look forward to seeing you again.